Hello, welcome to Art with Skylar Blue. Today we are going to draw a patterned winter beanie together. To get started, you just need a paper and a pencil, maybe an eraser, and a Sharpie for later on. Let's get into it. Okay, so to get started with the pencil, let's make a large curved line like this on our paper, and then we're going to connect it on the bottom with another slightly curved line. Following that, we are going to move up top. And we are going to start by making a pom-pom with just a basic circle. This is a guide that we will adjust later. Then we're going to head to the bottom and just kind of extend the brim around all sides to make it appear like it's folded over, just to give it a little more of an effect. And then now moving back up to that pom-pom. So first we have a guide. What we're going to do is follow that guide, but make a either squiggly line like I'm doing, or you can make a zigzag or any other shape that you prefer to show some texture. And then from there, we're going to erase just the part of the hat that overlaps the pom-pom on the inside, but we're not going to worry just yet about the other area where we have the overlapping squiggly line on top of the circle. We will address that a little bit later just to make it a little easier. I'm also going to erase any overlapping lines inside the brim of the hat just to keep it nice and clean and keep myself organized for our next part where we are going to start adding some details. Okay, so from this point we're going to start by just adding some vertical lines inside of the brim of the hat over here to show it's kind of like a ribbed or stretchy hat. And if you want to add a pattern in here instead, or on top of the lines, in between the lines, you can. You have creative freedom to do so. And then after that, we're going to start working in rows with our patterns. I'm choosing to do smiley faces for my first one. You can choose whatever you would like. You can have them being repeating exactly the same like I have. Maybe you'll have different faces, emojis, different emotions happening. Really, whatever your heart desires for this part. And after we finish the row, we might find something like this where there's not exactly enough room for the complete last one of that smiley, but that's okay. That makes it look more realistic if we continue it because it's like it's going around the edge of the hat. All right, now I'm working on my next row, and you'll see as I'm going through this, there's just going to be a few different patterns I'm going to add, some different types of line, different details that I want to customize my hat. And what I want you to think about as you're making this is, do you want it to be a hat that has a certain theme? I've had students do all different kinds of things with these, whether it would be a dessert themed hat, a animal themed hat, a specific animal like a cat, or just animals in general. And then also I've had students do like a Roblox hat, an Among Us hat. So it can be whatever you want. It could be all about you, and the patterns reflect just things about your personality. So really think about what kinds of things you want to incorporate as you are going through this part. And remember again, if there is an area where it does go off the edge, like I was saying before, that's okay. Just cut it in half. It makes it look like the hat continues. It's going to add a little bit more detail and make your piece a little more interesting. All right, so I'm just finishing up my last layer of patterns. I'm deciding I want to go back down to the brim of the hat and add a little bit more detail, so I'm going to do that now. It's up to you what you want to do with that. Maybe you don't even want a brim on your hat. It's up to you how you want to approach it. And then after that, I'm actually going to hop up to the pom-pom again. I want to add some more of those same lines inside to give it that fuzzy texture. So I'm happy with my hat. At this point, I am going to start sharpieing. So now I'm going to go around all my lines, and notice when I tackle that pom-pom, I'm just going to go around the edges of that pom-pom, right? I'm not going to actually trace that circular guide that we have inside. I'm going to take my time, work nice and neat. Now, of course, I'm going faster on here so that you don't have to watch me do this step by step. And I'm just going to go over all of my pencil lines with a Sharpie, and I will meet you back here when I am done. Okay, so now I have something like this, And now we're going to go ahead and just erase all of our pencil lines and just be left with the Sharpie. In 3, 2, okay. So now we have something that looks like this. Okay, so now we are ready to start coloring. And as you are coloring in your hat, think about if you want a specific color scheme or if it relates to the theme that you're doing. Really, just whatever your heart desires. This is your art, there's no right or wrong way to do it. And I obviously am doing this digitally just to give you an idea, but if I were doing this on a piece of paper, I would say probably like markers, colored pencils, maybe even crayons, whatever you have at home, whatever you would like to use. If you wanted to turn this into a painting and do this on either watercolor paper or even a canvas, of course, that's another option. Maybe you're not going to outline it if you do that. That's all up to you. But this is pretty much just me filling in all of the sections of my hat. Keep in mind some patterns that you do could also just be colors alternating. So when you add the color, you're really going to see the full effect of the pattern hat. All right, so I'm just finishing up coloring the last of my hat, and then I'm going to move on to the background. When it comes to the background, you can leave it like this. You can cut out the hat if you want. I'm going to go in and fill it with like a nice icy blue, and then I was thinking maybe I'll just mess around a little bit and add some sort of texture to make it feel a little bit snow-like, get in the spirit of winter. We are just about wrapping up for today. I'm going to put some finishing touches on the snow, and I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Love to see you guys in the next one. Please like, subscribe, comment. It would help me out a lot. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye for now.